Today we're going to solve some inequalities. So let's remember what inequalities are, how they differ. An inequality and an equation are different because an equation has an equal sign and an inequality has an inequality symbol like less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. But the rules are basically the same in that you want to get a variable on each side. Just make sure you bring your inequality down as we go. Also in an equation we get an answer like x equal 2, that's one number, but in inequality it could be less than 2. So you're going to get a range of numbers, so we will be graphing our solutions here at the beginning. So in order to do problem 1, we find our variable and say we need to do the opposite of subtract 45, which would be to add 45 to both sides. So we're showing our steps still. We get x is less than or equal to, and just do the math. Now we're going to graph this, and when you make your number line, I'm just going to let you make an easy one. Oops, not negative, I don't know where that came from. We're going to put 58 in the middle, and then put 59 on one side, and 57 on the other. So just put one number on either side of it. Now, is 58 less than or equal to 58? Yes, it fits the or equal part, so we need a colored in dot. And then which way are numbers less than? They would be going to the left towards the 57. So that would be your graph. On number 2, we find our variable. We want to get rid of the 19. It's a positive 19, so we're going to subtract 19 from each side. You need to make sure that you keep track of your negative number rules. The signs are different. So when you go change, you're going to be subtracting, and keep the sign of the bigger number is negative 3. Be careful when you put negative 3 on the number line. Remember what's to the right of it would be negative 2, and to the left of it, getting smaller, would be negative 4. Is negative 3 greater than or equal to negative 3? Yes, it fits the or equal part. So we need to color it in dot, and greater than would be this direction, negative 2, negative 1, and so on. So that would be your graph. In this problem, we want to get our variable by itself, so we find the variables on the right, so the opposite of subtract 4 would be add 4. So I would add 4 to each side and get 11 is less than x. Now it's important to read it from when we're getting ready to graph. Remember that's the same as x greater than 11. So when I graph it, that's probably how I want to think of it. So if you don't read it that direction, I think you'll miss it. So 12 would be here and 10 would be here. Is 11 greater than 11? No, it's not included, so I use an open circle to show it's not part of the solution. And then greater than would be going this direction towards the 12, 13, and so on. This one I'm going to add 9 to each side and get 21 is greater than or equal to y. Again, reading it from the y, it's y is less than or equal to 21. So that is what I want to graph, 21 in the middle, 22 and 20. Is 21 less than or equal to 21? Yes, it is, so it should be a colored in dot, and numbers less than 21 would be going to the left here, so it would look like that. Again, find your variable, x. We're going to get rid of the 23, so we're going to subtract 23 from each side. X is less than, remember when you add the opposite, you're going to actually be subtracting your numbers and get negative 9. So less than negative 9, negative 9 is in the middle, negative 8 would be to the right, and negative 10 to the left. Is negative 9 less than negative 9? No, so it's an open circle because it's not part of the solution and going this way. Now remember some other words that your signs can mean. We read it less than because also mean fewer than, greater than, or more than. The less than or equal sign can mean at most. The most something can be is this number, or no more than. And the greater than or equal to would be at least or no less than. So you might have to use this slide when you get back to doing word problems, and you've got to interpret what slide or what sign you're trying to, symbol you're trying to use. We still must define our variable, write an inequality, and solve. So 4 times a number is no more than 3 times that number plus 8. So what are we trying to find that number? I guess I should say what is the number. So let x equal a number. If you want to choose a different variable, that's fine. Read a little bit at a time. 4 times a number, so 4x, is no more than. So if it's not more than, it's going to have to be less than or equal to 3 times that number plus 8. And all we need to do is solve this. We got to get our variables on the same side by subtracting 3x. And we get x is less than or equal to 8. And it did not ask us to graph this one, so you don't have to graph it.